I'm Shnaz from DMA Crew. Made a song for Pat Regan.
Pat Regan was one of our trainers, and we did a lot of work together, Pat and I. Pat had a very unique way of training, and it was very heartfelt, taken very seriously by people who witnessed it.
If you're trying to tackle this problem, you have to be passionate, and there was nobody that I'd met in a long time that was more passionate than Pat. Pat walked into a school, okay, she had this aura about her, you know, people would listen to Pat because they knew she knew her stuff.
To know that she liked to see young kids battling it out, do you know what I mean, in a positive way rather than, you know, a negative way. She supported that.
She's basically been campaigning that since Daddy died and really put that as her main focus.
The effects of losing somebody is absolutely devastating. It's indescribable.
I've got a cousin called CJ who was killed last year in London.
My uncle was stabbed to death.
Just for that moment's rage, do you know what I mean? You're going to cause that much of a devastation, do you know what I mean?
My own view on it is to do with people's ability to resolve conflict, you know. Gone are the days where you could get away with maybe having a fight with fists.
One kid on this estate thinks that the kid on the other estate has a knife, so he carries a knife, and the other kid puts a knife in his pocket because he's scared of him. Whether either of them have actually got a knife in the first place, this cycle of fear is causing that to happen.
Protection of knives. How can a knife protect you? A knife cannot protect you, because if you've got a knife here and you're going to go fight, and then boom, it can just get spun around and shanked on you.
I hate the thought of young people being potential murderers walking around the streets with a knife, you know, unknowingly, not realising how much damage a knife can actually do.
You might have problems in the family. It might be linked to substance or drugs use, alcohol use. It might be to do with ego. And you using the term, for some young people, it's cool to be cruel. You know, for example, if I went and beat somebody up, okay, I might be seen as cool. But if I went and beat somebody up and stabbed them, I might have a different status in certain groups.
You know, some rappers, you know, they've got skills, they've got all that kind of stuff going on. But just like, people have a perception of how of a particular culture, and if you're giving out that negative vibe all the time, then that's what people are going to think, that stereotypical thing.
There's lots of things socially that we can do, but it's going to take communities, it's going to take everybody pulling together.
As a society, what are we doing? It's not just one person's problem, it's everybody's problems. You know, what are the churches doing? What are the mosques doing?
We need to wake up. I think we need to really look at the bigger picture.
Boom, should get a youth club. Every different area, loads of different youth clubs do different things, what people are interested in, and that'll keep people off the streets.
But it used to be a community, there used to be a lot of community activity things going on. You say, like, if you wanted to do something in the park or do something and have a party in the street, you can't do that no more.
It would have to be when I'm growing up as well. That's the worst thing about it.
Well, this is what I mean. You need the old school to come out and start showing you them old school days, you know what I mean? People, you know, taking responsibility.
This is about, you know, your teachers, your youth workers coming in tune with what's happening on the streets nowadays. And to do that, you've got to have a good knowledge of the streets, you've got to have a good knowledge of young people, you've got to have good knowledge of the music that's been listened to. If you go and try and educate a group of young people who might be more streetwise than others, and you don't know what you're on about, they'll see straight through you, okay? And it's not going to help your cause.
If you're on the street corner, you see another kid, you're a school teacher, a lawyer, solicitor, speak to the kids and show them something positive, not always look at them negative, you know. Just like, you know, people listening to positive lyrics, you know what I mean, in rap.
No violence, that's what Pat said. Put down your gun and use a fist instead. That's my own thing. If you're fighting, you don't use no weapons, man.
We want young people growing up to think it's really uncool to carry a knife.
Leave it out, the rage is not really, it's doing it.
Young people killing each other, stabbing each other, resorting violence using knives, not having any other diplomatic way or smart way of dealing with problematic issues. And Pat was very good at getting that message across.
Yeah, I think Pat Regan's work will always live on. I can tell people facts and figures, and I can show them terrible pictures, and I can explain exactly how the body works and exactly how much blood you can lose, but that's nothing as compared to someone like Pat or Lorraine standing and telling you what it was like.
We all need to do it, so it's all our world and we should all take care of it and each other. But you know, it's education, so education is my mum's legacy.
But she was a fantastic person. The struggle continues, her movement will continue, her messages will continue. But this is about not having a magic wand. You know, if you can change somebody's behaviour, you've got to be realistic when you're trying to deal with these problems. If you can change somebody's behaviour for one evening, you've done something right. If you can make somebody think differently for 1 minute, you've done something right. And that's what it's about. And slowly, those small steps one day might make a difference for somebody. You have to be realistic. And Pat was very good at doing that.
Alright, it was nice meeting you, love, and thanks for letting me interview you.
Thank you.
Pat Regan spoke out against gun crime after her son Danny was shot dead 5 years ago.
This ain't just about my son, this is about everybody's child.
Amid the grief of Pat Regan's friends and colleagues at her death, there's also a determination that the campaign against gun crime will continue.
These government people, they sit at this round table and they nod and they agree and they look at us, you know, and they've got sympathy. But why aren't they doing anything? Why aren't they doing anything? Like me and Pat used to say, we need more. You know, more has to be done. This country's just gone to pot, rack and ruins. We're not safe anymore, nobody is.
We all get together at sad times, faces I haven't seen in a long time. Making time when you're dead, but not when you're alive. Where's the love gone? It all seems to hide. I know the snakes slide. Always want to bring you down, never want to bring you up. To do things positive, encourage the negative. Lack of self-esteem is what we're dealing with. Kids talk about guns, but what we're dealing with, gang wars on the streets, but we're not stopping it. Mothers against violence, putting the heart in it, fighting all the way to get to the end of this. Hoping the killers get brought to justice. Those with no hearts, I call them monsters. There's so many killers living amongst us. Endless pain, sleepless nights, broken hearts, candle lights.
Pat, this track's a tribute to you, supporting mothers against violence through and through. The way you stood up for the rights, the person you was you. When Danny got shot in 2002, it changed many ways. How people started thinking, moved to next drugs. Heavy on the drinking, can't get to sleep at night, just lay there blinking. But you're looking down on all of us from heaven, just chilling with Danny, pour brandy or two. Rest in peace to the both of you. When your life was taken, I didn't know what to do. I'm angry deep down, but what can I do? The world won't be the same without you. It was you who told you to put down the guns and knives. It was you who said guns and knives do take lives, and when they take lives, it's not right.
Cry with me, please cry with me. Baby, cry with me, why don't you cry with me? Talk to me, please talk to me. Baby, talk to me, why don't you talk to me? I know you're hurting, baby, and I know it's hard to explain. These words are coming from my heart, so don't go away, so don't go away.
Want to tell a story, a woman had love for community. She tried to stop the gun crime, tried to stop the knife crime. Mother against violence, we're not stopping it. Mother against violence, we're supporting it. Can I have a moment of your time? People going crazy over shanks and nines. Man talk about bullet to your spine. I say stop the gun crime, stop the gun talk. Can't we all just be one? Be like a family, yes. I don't have no enemies, let me recap this tale from the streets. A woman called Pat, her heart was so deep. I came from the streets, I heard her voice clear. So stop the gun talk, stop the knife talk. We're full of wise, you may talk the talk, but you'll never be able to walk the walk.
Cry with me, please cry with me. Baby, cry with me, why don't you cry with me? Talk to me, please talk to me. Baby, talk to me, why don't you talk to me? I know you're hurting, baby, and I know it's hard to explain. These words are coming from my heart, so don't go away, so don't go away.
Tonight the tributes keep coming to Pat Regan, mother, grandmother and peace campaigner.